Everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm excited to introduce you to a face behind the brand of Defend Hawaii, which is not only a clothing line, but speaks to the culture of Hawaii today. Chris, please introduce yourself.
Aloha, my name is Christopher Meheula. Um, I am Hawaiian, Portuguese, and Chinese, mixed up a little bit over there. Yes, I am the vice president of Defend Inc., which umbrellas Defend Hawaii. Um, I am from Kahalu'u, over on the windward side of Oahu, which is in, if we want to get all native with it, I'm deep in Ko'olapoko in the mountains.
Awesome, awesome. So I think it was back in 2009 when I first found out about Defend Hawaii. A friend of mine in Oahu came to visit me where I was staying when I was there, and he brought me this shirt that said Defend Hawaii. And what intrigued me the most about it was that it had a rifle on it, on the shirt. And first I thought to myself, well, what is Hawaii defending itself from? And then the second thing was, this is pretty powerful. It's a pretty powerful statement and an image. It was only then when I really started to dig deep into the politics and the culture of Hawaii and the current issues that are going on the islands today. Can you talk a little bit about that brand and significance of it?
That's funny you say that because that's like the common word, common question when people ask about like, oh, what Defend Hawaii? Like, what are you guys defending from? You guys are paradise, you guys are special. I actually had a friend that I met in Madrid. She's Colombian. She lives in New Jersey. She'd asked me how many times. She's like, oh, you live in paradise. What do you have to worry about? Mm-hmm. And she came out here and she stayed with me for a couple of months and she found out as well. Mm-hmm. And I remember when you I think, I don't know what it's from, a Facebook or whatever. I remember you posting shirts about it. Yeah. And you repped us back then. I didn't realize it was like 12 years ago now. That's crazy. Yeah. That's super awesome. Thank you.
It was one of the designs, right?
That was the first like design that kind of pushed everything to a certain place. The original design by someone else, by previously a designer from the beginning. Mm-hmm. But the brand wasn't originally meant to be like a political statement whatsoever. Like it was a good way to kind of get people's attention, but it wasn't meant politically. Since then, we've definitely taken on that role and try to live by the name and try to actually be out here defending Hawaii from all the problems, and the problems have been repetitive and pretty consistent and grown since 2009. Even only within the past 12 years, things are just constantly getting worse, and we're constantly fighting. And it's a funny question: what are you defending Hawaii from? Sometimes it's from people, visitors. Sometimes it's from ourselves. But there's a lot to defend Hawaii from.
It's very complex, and I know there's issues, between people visiting, not respecting the culture, people moving there, having too many people, and then I guess between locals, I'm not really sure what those current issues are, and what would be the current issues right now that Hawaii is facing?
There's an abundance of current issues. I mean, everyone's really invested and kind of attuned to the whole Mauna Kea issue. Mm-hmm. That's going to start to ramp up again. And the crazy part is most of the time that we're battling against the state of Hawaii, like the government that stands behind it, the governor, the mayors. We've been having this whole thing about the rail. The rail costed us billions and billions of dollars additional on top of what was already set, which was billions and billions of dollars. Yet we're having housing crises, where low income housing is hard to come by. There's so much people on the streets. Mm-hmm. They've sent homeless people from other places in the U.S. Out here to live here so that they don't die on the streets and cold and whatnot because it's warm out here. So they ship them to California, ship them to Hawaii. Right now, something kind of fresh over in Maui. The different islands have their different troubles, Over in Maui, there's a water shortage up country, which is like kind of up in the middle, like in one specific area of Maui, and they're at like 50% capacity in their wells. and they're huge wells which can do like I think it's like 50 million like gallons or something like that.
Hmm.
But it's because I'm not even sure. Nobody's even sure why, but we know that there's a lot that is factored into it. So the government is requesting, the mayor is requesting residents to not water their lawn and to wash their cars on certain days and stuff like that, which is just like, wait, what? Like
Yeah.
we live in like it's constantly like it's just it's hard to see all these different things. And then now we have, I think we just hit the most expensive city in the US right now to live. Um,
In Honolulu.
no, yeah, in Honolulu.
Wow.
Um, it's just all around. I mean, housing is crazy expensive. There's no
Hmm.
housing. People can't find cars. Like
I
it's
know. Yeah.
forever a battle, and a lot of it has to do with the government. Right now, they're trying to for the Hawaiian people. We're fighting against this bill called HB 499, and it has to do with corporations trying to come in and buy out and develop on large pieces of land that they don't even know if it's rightfully theirs yet,
Hmm.
and we don't even know if it's the government's to give, to sell. So it's a constant battle and there's always new ones popping up. I feel like there's always developers trying to pull some kind of snaky kind of thing. Um, it's kind of just corruption. Like there's been battle with the corruption with the police chief recently, like the previous years ago.
Yeah.
Just There's a lot of stuff. The current issues are forever
Yeah.
forever adding.
It's a lot of things that people don't realize, I guess, when they travel, because it's very much advertised as paradise and it's so beautiful. You can go to Hawaii and relax, and all these people love it. They fall in love with the culture, they fall in love with the place and the energy that's in Hawaii because obviously it's beautiful, right? The people, um, just the aloha spirit is obviously something that you try to have living over there as much as you can, right? As much as you're gonna tolerate until you get, if there's disrespect or whatever, but it has to be two ways, right? Aloha spirit has to be two ways.
Yeah, so
Um,
we like to receive the aloha that we're trying to give out, like, so
yeah,
I mean, I'm not worried about it because like I mean, when is it's not just I mean, with as long as with visitors, as you bring that up, yeah, there's um so I think we've broken the records the amount of visitors that we've had
mhm,
ever before. Like every single weekend, it tops a new number, and for
yeah,
the whole month, we've topped numbers that we've never topped before. Amongst all the islands, I think Maui Airport can't even handle the amount of people that's coming through. On here in Oahu, the capacity at the hotels are fully booked. People are all the rental car places. You can't find any cars. People are renting their stuff out Turo. People are like buying cars to like use for a while, like leasing a vehicle.
wow,
Um, but then people are going on hikes and destroying native plants. Um, they're stepping on things. They're just there's too much. They're rampant. They're
yeah,
buy things from the store. They leave trash. Good thing there's organizations that go and help clean and stuff like that.
mhm,
Um, there's visitor. I mean, it just sucks because some people are just spoiling it. There's people coming out here and messing with the wildlife. There's been people slapping monk seals recently, Hawaiian monk seals,
yeah,
grabbing the turtles, and these are all endangered animals. Like they're on the list, and it's a felony if you even touch them,
yeah,
and people just don't care.
yeah. I
It
don't know
sucks,
if it's
but
like miseducation or, it's probably these people never see these animals or whatever. I'm not giving them an excuse to do whatever they're doing. I don't know what makes them want to do it, to be honest. But there are signs. There's signs on the beach when the monk seals are sleeping to not go near them. There's even like rope around them sometimes, and it's just like just leave them alone,
yeah, just don't touch. Like, I mean, I don't understand it. Like, I mean, in the past 5 years or so, I've been lucky enough to be able to travel around the world, not just domestically, but like to other places, like
Yeah.
tourists like from tourist traps to casual places, like into the southern coast of Portugal, where everything's peaceful, everything's real nice out there. To Oslo, Norway. In Norway, people are wonderful out there. I
Mhm.
mean, if anything, I feel a sense of aloha in some of these places. I've been Barcelona, where it's just crazy packed.
Love
I
it.
don't go around touching things and trashing places. Like I don't understand this. I don't. It's just people how people are. And, it is, and I just feel like I'm worried that at some point there's not going to be any aloha left to give. Like
Yeah, I noticed that the Hawaii Tourism Board has been advertising more of like an ecotourism kind of thing, malama, take care of the land because it takes care of you. Kuleana, the responsibility towards the culture and towards the people. Do you think like that kind of helps when people are traveling there now?
I think it helps. I think they have to do a better job. The Hawaii Tourism Authority needs to even have to up their game, and even like the push to the airlines, like new videos and new PSAs, really educating anyone coming out to the islands
Hmm.
how to. I mean, it's how it's kind of crazy to say like how to act or how to be, what kind of attitude to have. But I mean, there's something has got to be done to get people to be a little bit more responsible for their actions for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I think in some way Hawaii has been like marketed very like Americanized. It's kind of like the playground of the United States. And when you're living there, it's something completely different than going on vacation there. And some people are like, I want to move there. Obviously, I would love to live there one day. I've just been there since I was a child, and it's a place I feel like I can live, the rest of my life, just because I made friends there. I know the culture. I respect the culture. But for people who don't really understand, because they think, oh, tiki drinks and pineapples and coconuts and hibiscus flowers on the ears and these fake lays and all that stuff. um what can you like, how do you think the culture has been misinterpreted and appropriated, not just in marketing but also in the food world?
Um, I mean, it's been marketed that way since for a while, for decades now, right? I
Yeah.
think I just recently watched maybe last year Grease 2. Oh,
Mm.
it kind of ate me up a little bit. They're like
Yeah.
teasing like, oh, the luau, like it's just the way that they did it, the hula thing. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
They did the whole like the hula thing and
Oh,
whatnot.
yeah.
It's crazy, and even the word tiki is actually a Maori. It's
Yeah.
came from New Zealand and stuff. So
Yeah.
just overall, the whole idea of that stuff is definitely marketed towards that Elvis Blue Hawaii kind of idea. And then coming now to today, um, things are a little different. With Aloha, there's just I want to say 2017, there was Aloha Poke Company
Hmm.
that I think they did. I don't know, they kind of similar to like how you guys have, like you're doing authentic stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, Previous the other companies probably are not doing authentic stuff, like so. Thank like mahalo you,
Thank you. Yeah.
people were doing these things, and we were making I think Aloha Poke Company. I think it was called. They're out in Chicago,
Mhm.
and they tried to trademark the name Aloha Poke.
No.
They're not like local people or Hawaii, like or anything Hawaiian about them. And
Yeah.
they tried to use it because there's another company that was over there. I think they're across the U.S. too. And then so there was an uproar about it down here locally. People
Mhm.
were complaining. Of course, they didn't win their battle. They
Right.
can't do that. But
Mhm.
then we started making the Aloha is not for sale in that same font, like looking like their logo, all the kind of stuff. So I mean, it's just it's gonna happen no matter what. Any culture I feel like is gonna be appropriated, and so many has, but um I
But there are
think
certain like sacred things, like hula is very sacred to the Hawaiian culture, the language itself. And then when you're starting to use them in kind of like I don't know, in a way that doesn't make
a
sense.
mockery. Yeah, like
Mockery,
it's
yeah.
or like not giving it the respect, like you kind of you're trying to capitalize on something, and it's kind of like, come on, where's the integrity there? Like I
Yeah.
know that there's people capitalizing, like there's a lot of people that are capitalizing on the Mauna Kea issue the previous year in 2019. There's like all these like Asian, like I don't want to say Asian, it sounds a little weird, but like out in China and stuff like that, like they're specific, or Vietnam. I think there's these factories that were going out and creating like products, and then trying to sell the products.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it was using the local, and then using a picture of like the rock or something, like it was a
Okay.
really
Yeah.
really crazy. Yeah, it was like, oh, it's a picture of the rock. We're in a Mauna Kea shirt, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, buy this, and people were suckered into buying it. I think
Mm.
even right now, there's people that I think there's companies on Amazon that sell our products,
Right.
different Hawaii products on there. I met a guy in Colorado at a concert, and he's like, "Yeah, I got this shirt." I was like, "God, that shirt hasn't been active like since 2015." And he's like, "I just bought it last month." And I was like, "From where?" He's like, "Amazon." I was like, "Oh my god,
Oh
that's a
my
fake,
gosh.
man. It's not even authentic. It's not real. It's a
Wow.
real product, but I mean, it's not from us. So you're supporting the wrong people there."
So they're just taking your stuff and selling it, and not even yours. I guess they remake it, right?
Yeah, and then they do that. I mean, that's kind of what we do here locally as well. Like, I mean, looking over the whole idea of Waikiki in a whole.
Hmm.
I mean, that's all that is to sell Hawaii in the wrong way.
Right.
But it generates tourism dollars, and that's supposed to help our economy and stuff. But I don't know if it does.
Right. Yeah. I don't know either.
I don't like. I don't see any CEOs of these hotel chains coming and buying stuff from my store, or
Right.
coming out to a farmer's market and watch them support a local farmer. Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
give back. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're out there giving back tremendously, and I'm unaware of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, I know that there's a housing issue. It's so expensive to live in Hawaii. I think you need at least like 2 or 3 part-time jobs to actually survive and pay your rent or pay your mortgage, at least. Food prices are really, really high. I remember like I was at the grocery store, and usually strawberries here I would have gotten for like $4.99 for a case. And I think I had gone to a store over there and it was like $12.99. And I was like, $12.99 for strawberries? I was like, what? Like,
And then you read it, it's like, oh, imported from Guatemala. You're like, what?
yeah, yeah. Oh,
Why
they're
do you
not
grow
from here.
strawberries? Yeah.
Yeah. So ever since I started, going grocery shopping in Hawaii, I was like, there's got to be something better. So I started to look at like farmers markets. I started to go to the one, on Diamond Head, the KCC,
Oh yeah,
Pearl
those guys are
Ridge.
great.
Yeah, Pearl Ridge. And now I know I researched more, and because we want to go back in March, and I wanted to volunteer at Kahumana Organic Farms. And for people who don't know yet and who haven't been reading, we are donating to them. So whatever, we get a percentage of our profits to Kahumana after the pop-ups happen. So for those who don't know, they have like programs in place where they can actually cultivate more farmland to build and have more food for the community and for the businesses, the restaurants and stuff. So
There's a handful of them out here. So if I
yeah.
mean, if people were actually do their research on Hawaii, and actually look into the farms out here, and ways that people can there's cultural practices out here that people that is better than just the surf lesson out in Waikiki. It's better than just the Diamond Head hike with some tour guide that was been living here for 2 years. Like
Yeah.
there's some really good experiences out here that people can kind of dive into when they do come out here.
Mhm.
It would be great to have visitors that come out here to respect it and learn a little bit, like about who we are and what we really are about, rather than just um, a surf thing, and a hotel and a pool and
Yeah.
mai tais, and
Yeah.
not
Hawaii
even,
is much more than that.
yeah. I mean, please come and enjoy the Hawaiian music, though. I mean, it's lovely. The
Oh yeah.
falsetto.
Oh yeah. Those I can't hit those. I'm singing, but I can't hit
I
those.
can after a few drinks and some karaoke.
Yeah, exactly. I've been posting some content on my IG stories to educate people here in Montreal, Canada. My local community on social media about the Hawaiian culture. What is your favorite local dish? What is your favorite Hawaiian dish? Because there is a difference, right?
I need to come clean about this right now. I don't eat fish. I'm the
You
weirdest.
what? Oh
I'm
my-
the weirdest Hawaiian in the world. I don't know what my problem is. I just never grew up on it. I don't really like the texture of it in my mouth. I don't know what it is. So I don't even eat poke.
oh my gosh.
I tried to. I've been trying like for decades, for a dozen years or so. I can eat ahikatsu now.
Okay.
I'll try poke every now and then. I always tease people and say like, I only eat fish in Japan. You know, like I want some otoro, some bluefin rather than some yellowfin. But I don't normally eat fish, so I'm gonna have to go with like I mean, just straight kalo, like some pa'iai, which is the original form of poe,
Mhm.
um, is fantastic. But to mix that in with some lao lao or
Mhm.
some beef luau, which is like normally it's made with squid, so squid luau, which is like that same luau leaf mixed with some coconut milk and stuff,
Mhm.
and some water and shoyu and whatnot. But that's one of the faves, I think. Oh,
That's-
I love hopia.
oh
It's like
yeah.
that coconut dessert kind of thing. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. One of my friends is doing chocolate halpia pies over here now.
I'm gonna get hungry for some Hawaiian food in a little bit right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll have to
Yeah.
make a phone call for a drop off.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you what your favorite poke place was, but never mind.
Well, I mean, I gotta get since we work with Fresh Catch a lot. You can
Yeah.
see him on the Guy Fieri shows and whatnot. But I gotta give some love out to the Kaneohe boys, IE Assassins. I mean, I think they're friends anyway. So
Yeah.
shout out to Josh and the boys at IE Assassins and Erica. Them they're awesome.
Yeah.
They make some quality. I mean, they're out there fishing nonstop and getting some quality and providing
Hmm.
for a lot of local people and
Yeah.
visitors alike.
Yeah, and a lot of people here don't know
And
that.
Kama'aina experience is my favorite.
Thank you, mahalo. Good one.
I love the poke.
You gotta try when you come here, though.
I will try it.
Okay. You gotta send me some luau leaves because there's like nothing here. So
I gotta send you a bunch of stuff.
yes, yes.
Yes. We'll just get you some Hawaiian. I don't know if that's even is that allowed in customs. I don't know. I don't know how that
I don't
works.
know. Maybe if it's frozen.
We'll look it up.
We'll look it up. Yeah. We got taro plants here, so I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah. You just gotta get your own rock. A
Yes.
pohaku. Start pounding your own.
My son
That
wants.
would be crazy.
My son really wants one. I think the next time we go, we're gonna have to get one and bring it back.
I want to fly out there and then just give a
Just
little
bring it
lesson. We'll do some live lessons right at the pop up.
There you go. Yeah, come. It's this Saturday.
I might not make that one, but future ones we'll plan for next year.
Yeah, for sure. So people don't know that in Hawaii, there's a lot of, immigrants from Asia. And then there's the Hawaiians, the Kanaka. So there's, a lot of different types of people in Hawaii. What's the relationship like now between the locals and Hawaiians?
I mean, everything's all cool. I mean, people that grew up here, they're as local as the people that are of Hawaiian blood, So
Mhm.
I mean, that's not where the issue lies. I mean, sometimes there's some people talk crap, but then there's issues amongst them amongst Hawaiians, Kanaka and Kanaka sometimes. Like, oh, I don't agree with you. You're a little bit too overboard, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, there's no. That's not really a feud. I mean, I think there used to be a feud back in the day, but that might have been before my time.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think the best thing is about, the immigrants that came? And the work?
I mean, I'm made from some of that. So I mean, like when the Portuguese and the Chinese came over on boats and whatnot and worked on the fields, I mean that I don't know what the benefits or can't say to that, but I wouldn't be around if it wasn't for that. So
Yeah. And when
that kind of ties into our culture today, like with all different types of food and the Japanese coming out here, the Chinese coming out here, the Portuguese coming out here, that's created that melting pot of who Hawaii is currently, you know.
the Filipinos.
The Filipinos, yes, yes.
Don't
Filipinos for
let
sure.
adobo, don't forget.
A pork adobo fried rice omelet sounds is pretty
Yes,
good.
from Elena's. Mm, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah. I love it. Tanioka's is one of my favorite spots to go to.
oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now Josh is gonna be mad. So what, Taniokas?
Well, I Assassin's not well, their physical location's not open anymore, but that was one of our favorite places to go. Definitely. But anyways, I'll see them the next time I'm there.
Yeah, yeah.
I've
been egging to come on a trip anyway, right?
Yeah, yeah. So you as a local and born in Hawaii, living there, you know what it's like, the real life in Hawaii. How would you kind of describe it versus when a tourist comes here and sees this dream? Like, what would you want to say to them?
Just I think what we covered, like to be respectful. I mean, like it's not all that. I mean, it is paradise. Though. Just appreciate it, like don't take advantage of what it is. I mean, don't. I mean, you might come and it might be raining the whole time. Appreciate the rain, like
Yeah, exactly.
come and get maybe wear sunburn. When you come out here, wear sunburn. I'm suntan lotion.
Not
But
much nowadays.
basically just respect the culture overall. Like we touched on earlier, just um, the tourism, the visitors that come out here, it's just a confusion. They have their image of what they want to be, what they want to see, what they want to feel. When they come out here, it's usually a rude awakening for a lot, unless they come for a short amount of time. Going through Honolulu area and seeing all the homeless, seeing all the traffic and other people. Are just like people are stopping in the middle of the road for no reason, and some of them, like in Maui, there's been an issue. There's too much people in Maui.
Yeah.
There's a 1-lane road in Hana, and people are trying to get to work. People are trying to get places. People are stopping to take pictures and stuff. It just be mindful,
Right.
I think overall, just be mindful. I mean, I'm blessed. I live in the mountains. I have streams. I have all these birds. I have all these different things.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just growing up that way. I guess like it's a little different from being in a city and coming out here. You're not gonna. Of course, you're gonna want to stop and take a picture of a chicken. Like it's gonna be a little different.
There are chickens a lot in Hawaii, randomly on the road, guys. Just saying.
There's probably a chicken on a bunch of cars outside in the parking lot right now.
Yeah, that's a normal thing.
Chickens on the cars in the parking lot right now. Yep.
So basically, guys, do your research before you go to Hawaii.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, and the local culture too, not just where to go or where to eat. Is really like educate yourselves about the culture.
It's actually getting to a point where now there's actually people protesting the government, and the government's asking if it's whether it's a possibility or not of limiting the amount of visitors that come in, like, per month or per weekend or per day. I'm not sure how they're going to try to do it, but that would be unfortunate for people that really want to come out here, or just take your time and whatever. But we welcome any visitors as going to be respectful and interested in actually finding out about what's really Hawaii.
Yeah. And that's
like you.
I want to try to convey that message with this company, with this, not just the food, but the spirit that's over there too, and the culture. So as much as advice you can give me, I'll send that message off to them too.
I will send a bunch of information over for your wonderful viewers.
Yes. And we got to get your merch.
And I got to come out there. We got to come out to Montreal.
Yeah, bring your crew, the whole crew, bring them over here.
We have 5 people. all five people.
Oh yeah, that's okay. That's okay. We got some Airbnb spots for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I think they're having Airbnb problems out here too.
Yes, that's another thing that you all should know is that there's some illegal places that you're not allowed to, well, the people aren't allowed to rent their space for Airbnb.
Can you Airbnb at all over here?
You have to have a
Yeah.
license.
As long as you're licensed,
Yeah,
there's people doing illegal renting
yeah. So do your research on that too.
before you come out here, and then that place doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Chris, for doing this and speaking and educating people out in Canada what it's like in Hawaii. And
Thank you for giving a platform for everyone to learn and maybe exercise the right way of thinking when they come out here. Well,
yeah,
at least we'll have some Defend Hawaii stuff with you guys
yes,
shortly.
please.
And if anybody wants some real Hawaii stuff and wants to support some real Hawaiian, like authentic, some buy locals here in Hawaii.
Just
Yeah.
because
Please.
it says aloha in Hawaii doesn't mean it's made in Hawaii.
Yeah, just because it says aloha and says Hawaii on doesn't mean that it's made out here. So you want to
Yeah.
buy some buy locals, please defendhawaii.com.
Yeah. Please support local. Buy
Yes.
local.
Buy locals. Yes.
Thank
But
you
yeah,
so much.
thank you. And we'll touch base soon.
For sure.